Previously on Viva la Cosplay, Katie, Devon and Elana, along with the three amigos Matt, Jamie and Jesse, battled their time constraints to finish epic pieces of cosplay art for two different conventions. Katie debuted her Princess Celestia and Ayla the Huntress costumes at Baltimore Comicon. The rest of our cast stormed the gates of VA Comicon in all their glory. After the show, the team was informed of some pretty exciting news.
Discussion with the other members of staff. We are not going to allow you guys to take part in the cosplay competition in November. We think there might be an upside to this for you. The reason for that is we want you guys to judge the cosplay contest alongside Ivy Duke Kitty.
Oh my god, that is a big responsibility.
Oh my god.
Alright.
This is Viva la Cosplay. In Newport News, Devon and Elana embark on a cosplay adventure.
So we are in Goodwill. Saw a big book sale, and I looked at the books for like 2 seconds, and then I ended up in toys, because I'm a grown adult.
This is where we find all our guns, though.
Case in point. Case in point.
Once playtime is over, the two partners in crime head on to the next stop.
We went to the Halloween store, and I got some gloves for Poison Ivy, and some stockings. That's it. That's all I got.
I'm not doing a hunter for Tidewater Con.
Because I decided to be Poison Ivy.
I am finally going to do Red Hood. Oh.
Changed my mind. I'm gonna be Bane.
You're Bane.
Coming after you, Bruce Wayne.
Bane.
The weather gets rough, but it's not enough to abort the mission.
They must have more wall.
White would probably be good though, if they don't have red.
Could be.
Because it would still be very, whatever color you put on it would still be really bright. You wouldn't have to try to battle the black. You can always try it, and if it doesn't work, paint it back over in black.
I don't want to. I want to use red.
We can maybe go down the aisle and see if there's like off-brand plastic.
Sometimes you just can't take no for an answer.
Red.
Red and where's plastic at? Black and white and gray and what is this? Fluorescent orange. I wrap my head mannequin with saran wrap and then put masking tape over top of it. That's why it's kind of weird what you're looking at, because there's already masking tape on the original mannequin. If this works out right, I could potentially pull the new mannequin part off.
Here, let me help you.
And see, I can squish it down and you can see. Alright!
Oh my god, I forgot this had a face on.
So yeah, this is the pull, so to speak, of the Red Hood mask.
Gladiator. Rotate it. Oh, I rotated it too much.
I'm gonna cut this and make, oh my god, that's freaking scary.
In similar fashion to his Nightwing costume, Devon makes haste with the red hood armor.
So this is armor chest version, I don't know, we're probably up to like 5 or 6 now. As you can see in the original design, the pieces overlap each other. Now the goal here is inspired by Elana and the Nightingale armor. The way that the Nightingale plates overlap, that is hopefully what I'm going to accomplish with this. As you can see, it's a lot apart. You can see L1, L2, L3. I've gone and put the L in the number associated with it, so I know what level each of the pieces are on, and I'm basing that on how much they overlap each other. The first big chess piece is actually level 7, and I'm realizing, being that it is essentially above 6 other levels of foam, it's going to lead it to be very awkward looking. As you can already kind of see it, it's bowing up in the front, it's going to be flat in the back. And I think that's going to make it look kind of really weird. Not bulky and, well, I mean, it doesn't need to look bulky, but it's going to look very weak. So I think I'm going to do, because it would also solve some other problems I'm having, I'm going to make these 2 pieces out of the thicker roll foam instead. More focused on the construction aspect than I am on the actual prettiness. You know, it's nice to do the detail paintwork and stuff, but it's not meaningful if the skeleton isn't fixed. You know, you're putting makeup on the thing before you've even got bones down. It doesn't work.
In Luray, Katie sits down with us for a little heart-to-heart.
Hello. I've been not cosplaying for the last 3 days. I got back a few days ago from Baltimore, and I decided I was just going to give myself like a week off, because literally this is all I did for the last 3 weeks was work on cosplay. And if you think I'm kidding, seriously. Every single night I have had no social life. I cannot think of a night for the last 3 weeks that I did not work on cosplay. It was nuts. There were times that I forgot to sleep. It was times that I forgot to eat. Times that I forgot to go places, because I was focused and I was in the zone. And I need this time off just to kind of be like, clear my head, wipe those other cosplays out of my head, and so I can channel the new energy toward my new cosplay. This new cosplay that I'm doing is pretty much the biggest cosplay that I've ever done. I'm terrified. I'm literally terrified. I'm so intimidated by it, but I'm ready. Like, I feel like I am ready to take on this challenge, and I can't wait. I literally cannot wait. But I'm tired at this time. Between this time that I've had the time off, it has definitely given me time to think about just like cosplay in general, and how amazing this hobby is. I mean, it is such a creative outlet. It is absolutely, unbelievably outstanding, and I do not regret the time that I've spent on my cosplay at all. You know, I feel like I've learned so much. I've been able to play around and discover new tricks and things like that. You know, going to the convention, I met so many new friends. Like, I was able to connect with old friends and meet new friends, and it was just absolutely amazing. I mean, words cannot describe how cool that journey is. To create costumes leading up and then going to a con, walking through those convention doors for the first time in your new costume. The feeling is just, it's literally undescribable if you've never cosplayed before. It is just, it's something that you have to experience to know how that feels. And it really is just, it's an eye-opener for me. This hobby is truly about the love of characters and the fellowship that you can bring together with friends. It shouldn't be about competition between you and another cosplayer. It shouldn't be about the number of likes you have on a page. It shouldn't be about whose cosplay is better than this person's cosplay. You know, at the end of the day, we are all a part of this amazing community, and we all need to realize that. and get all this stuff out of your head. I think social media today kind of makes it tough because you can see everyone else's work right there in front of you. You can see how many likes that person has on the page, and it's like intimidating. And you find yourself indirectly competing with somebody else, or you find other people making it a competition between you and somebody else. And I hope, my one and true genuine hope is that we can move past that and maintain the love that is so important within this hobby. And I was able to kind of see that firsthand this past weekend with, you know, people running up to you and giving you a hug. There were about a handful of times that I gave out autographs. Like, people were coming up wanting the character's autograph. You know, I signed Princess Celestia like 3 or 4 times. 2 little girls. It was really sweet. And those moments are the moments that I cherish so much. There's nothing else like it. And that's what we all gotta see, is how amazing this hobby is. We all don't have to like the same things. We don't have to, you know, enjoy the same genres of comic book or movies or television or whatever. You know, that's not what it's about. It's about meeting up with everybody and sharing this amazing hobby. It's really, really cool. I guess you could say people not in the cosplay community thinking it's some kind of competition. And I keep saying competition, but that's really the only way to describe it. You know, people thinking that it's some type of competition between you and somebody else, and it's not. And like I said, I've experienced that firsthand, and I know how it feels to be seen as not as good as somebody else. And it's just like, I'm just over here, like, I'm just doing my own thing, you know. I just want to be me. I just want to do me. I don't want to be compared to somebody else, you know. I don't want to, you know, yeah, that other person is absolutely fantastic at what they do, and that's great. And if you don't like what I do, then fine, but that's not what this is about. I just want to enjoy the hobby and have fun and go out there on the convention floor and be happy. I just want to be happy and love it.
Katie has chosen Lady Sylvanas from World of Warcraft as her next cosplay.
And I know how to use them, sorta. I burned myself a lot with these 2 guns. I've been MIA from cosplay. There's a little something called destiny that has consumed my life. But anyway, I finally decided to start working on something. Honestly, I don't have much of the materials to actually start the armor of Lady Sylvanas yet. So I'm going shopping for fabric tomorrow for her cape thing. But I've started to start working on some of the accessory things. One of the things I started on was the bow, and this is the middle piece, middle section of the bow. This bow's huge. It's gonna be I don't know, 5 feet long or something. It's huge. I've slowly started to Dremel and kind of get things ready for more detailing and painting and all that jazz, so we'll see. My Dremel died because I'm stupid and bought a wireless one, and it's so annoying because it just dies a lot. So I'm working on arrows. This is her pack I started on. This is, the dark is where I melted the foam too much, but this is gonna be her pack. And I'll have a strap across my chest. This will have arrows that will go in it. I went and got a real arrow and compared the size to make sure I had the right gauge. Another thing that I'm doing is, if you look on the inside, I divided it off in 3 sections, and the reason why I did that is because I realized that if I'm, walking through a convention and with this on and the pack is sideways, all these arrows are gonna fall to the side. So I was I really want them to I want the pack to look full, and I don't want to have to make a million arrows. So the trick, just throw arrows in there. The trick here is to divide the pack so that when the arrows are in here, however way I want to put them, and they are, you know, sitting in here, they actually, like, you know, maybe, I mean, it just makes it look like they're more spread out. I think I may actually do some more arrows. I don't know. It depends on how it looks, but something like that. What I'm doing is I am taking wordless scraps that I have left over from other projects, and I'm going to heat them up to make the point of the arrow. And I'm going to try to make each one as identical as possible. I don't know what I'm doing. I have never done this before, so we'll see. It's always important that you have aluminum foil down, or you're going to burn things that you don't want to be burned, like your carpet. I cut out this earlier. This is kind of like my guideline as far as just, you know, what I want it to look like. It's kind of cool. I'm happy with it. It's a little lopsided. Hey, it's hand forged. And then I'm going to be making these feather things for the top. Stick, the dowel rod was painted. It was like this. And then I painted them brown and arrow. And then, but yeah, so that's that. I'm happy with it.
Well, another Virginia Comicon has come and gone, and we have the next Virginia Comicon lined up in our sights for November with brand new cosplay ideas.
That's right, Jesse's already started work on Rocket Raccoon. And I mean, why not? Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon!
With Guardians of the Galaxy being such a success at the box office and it being such a great, likable, extreme character, it's going to be a lot of fun to build, and I'm excited to help him do it.
$10 is the large font. It's thicker. You can do a lot more with it. I had to think about what I'm getting this for. It's for Rocket's gun. That's what we're working on. Rocket Raccoon's gun. $10 for all this foam.
The light-size gun is sketched out on paper to make a giant gun template.
At this point, we have drawn and cut out the entire gun. There are some added details in the drawing there that will actually be separate foam pieces. So you can see this is a big gun. We're already using like 3/4 of the foam we bought today. Using our template, we're going to cut out two parts to the body for this, for each side. If that makes sense.
Once again, Jamie has decided to divide his time. Now, between Rocket Raccoon and his own new cosplay project.
Currently, I've started work on Mega Man. Taking a little bit of time out of helping Jesse with Rocket, I've delved a little bit into what I'm doing with the concept, but because it is my own original idea and I'm only working off the video games and other source material a little bit, it's kind of hard, and I'm hitting some stumps. I've got a blank slate and I'm just building up from there, so with the clock counting down, I'm getting a little nervous. We came outside because we're not really sure what kind of mess we're going to make with this helmet. Which helmet? This helmet. It's something I picked up last night at Play It Again Sports to sort of use as a base for my Mega Man build. Now we are using a high-speed power tool, so when using such equipment you always want to make sure you have the proper safety tools around as well. Let's get cutting. Now this actually is dangerous, and I don't have the proper eye protection, so please don't try this bit at home.
And I have chosen to do the Megazord from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Of course, my love for Power Rangers fuels this idea, along with the fact that I met Jason David Frank at Wizard World, and he's kind of just fueled my ambition even stronger to finish this project. So I'm going to be working pretty hard to get that thing up and running.
Alright, so this is where I'm at with Megazord. I have already pretty much completed the basic construction of the headpiece. I actually started out with a skater helmet. You can see inside here I still have the straps, all the pads and everything in there. And then everything else is just EVA foam and craft foam. I've already put the first coats of red and silver paint on, as well as Plastidip the whole thing first. But it still has a lot to go, and actually I might even be redoing parts of this, so we will see. As you can see, it looks pretty big on me, but this is to make up for the size, because my whole body is going to be huge. So in addition to the headpiece, I've also started on the chest piece. This would be like the pterodactyl. Yeah, something like that. Obviously I gotta put a lot of details here, like the teeth looking design. I'm probably going to try to add some speakers at some point and come up with a way of rigging that. But that could be a bonus feature. We'll see how much time I have. And then yeah, I gotta I'm gonna fill these in with some sort of Bondo or possibly even caulk, just to like smooth everything out before it gets painted.
All I made for Poison Ivy was a skirt. I hand cut the leaves and glued them on. That's my contribution to it. Very much so a closet cosplay, because I did not allow myself enough time to really make a good costume myself. But it is what it is. I'm more comfortable in armor and making foam armor and foam weapons than I am trying to sew and make like fabric. So these next two I do for the 2-day show will be much more in my element, and I will have much more work I did as well as attachment to it. It's just where I'm more comfortable is building armor. But that being said, I tried my best to do something different for me. I just feel bad I didn't make nearly as much as I wish I did. I don't really like wearing things that I didn't myself make like 80 to 95% of. It's just a personal thing. Not to say that you can't cosplay in anything else like that you have or that you didn't make or you bought or whatever. You very much so can. It's just a personal thing. I feel like I've kind of put myself out there as someone who makes all of her stuff. It's like a hit when I don't make most of my costume. And I'll try better to have everything done on time for November, which I will. I've already started. I have 2 armors to build in 1 month. Challenge accepted.
Over the last couple of weeks, Devon has put many hours into his red hood armor. Attaching the armor pieces to the shirt, painting and detailing the armor, and of course finishing up the character's iconic helmet.
Huh. I haven't made it out of foam yet, but this is the last piece. It would go like that. I mean, I didn't even know foam could bend in this manner before this evening.
There is one thing every good cosplayer should do with their costume once it's finished. Wear it.
Hey, it's me, Jason Todd. Just working my abdominals. Working my pectorals. Yeah. This range of motion. Yeah. Bruce wishes he looked this damn good. Am I right?
Well, Tidewater Comicon is actually tomorrow, and we really just made a last-minute decision to do Ghostbusters, mainly being that the rest of our Ghostbusters group, Ghostbusters Virginia, will be there in full gear. So we wanted to support the show and show our Ghostbusters love.
Which, while it is a last-minute decision, is a really big relief, because personally I've been stressing a lot as to what exactly I was going to cosplay.
That being said, we do have to do a few minor repairs and get our Ghostbusters gear up to tip-top shape, or at least as close as we can, before tomorrow.
It's time for Christmas. I mean Comic-Con. Or did I mean Christmas?
After only 3 hours of sleep, Matt, Jamie and Jesse pack the car full of Ghostbuster gear and begin the 2-hour drive to Virginia Beach. There, they will meet up with Devon and Elana at Tidewater Comicon. During the show, I myself had a chance to sit with the gang and discuss a topic that seemed to be on all of our minds. Cosplay etiquette. From the cosplayer's point of view.
One of the big things is obviously if something is, I wouldn't say frowned on by society, but just like smoking, like cigarettes, any of that, you're old enough to do it, it's fine, but you don't really want to encourage little kids to do it. So obviously we had an incident where someone was wearing Spider-Man and decided to take the mask off and light up a cigarette in front of 5 little kids. That's kind of not something you want to do. It doesn't look good. You know, you've got to keep those kind of things in mind, that you're not just you're kind of representing that character.
I think people need to take into consideration how they look to other cosplayers too. A few people, I don't want to say we know, but we've seen trying to make like a big name in cosplay world around here. They'll post on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever. Come to my table, come see me. I want to make new friends. I want to be happy and cosplay awesome together. But then you see them at the convention and they look really mean, and I'm just like, I don't want to come hi and say hi to you. You look like you're gonna bite my head off. It's really off-putting to do that. You have to just try to genuinely be a nice person.
You gotta wear that smile no matter what. If you're at a con and you're tired, you're cranky, and you're ready to leave, and every time you try to go to the bathroom or something, somebody wants a picture, it doesn't really matter. It might be the 200th picture for you, but it's their first picture of you. You want the last people you come in contact with to have just as good experience as the people who caught you when you first came in the door.
You have to respect the guests at the show as much as they should respect you, just as if you were seeing a performance or something. Let's say you're Wonder Woman, a guy doesn't like your costume. Respect towards the cosplayer, say there's no reason to badmouth Wonder Woman at all, but maybe praise the work that they did. Respect as the cosplayer would be if there were another Wonder Woman there that maybe had some more craftsmanship involved. There's no reason to downplay either of them. They both put in a lot of work and they both loved what they've done.
Cosplayers kind of putting down other cosplayers.
Yeah.
And that pisses me off. Like, who cares if you got a better Batman costume than the other guy? You're still both Batman.
People always comment on Devon's great work. Someone else who does great work has like this mindset that like, I'm gonna work just as hard to beat Devon in the contest, or I'm gonna work just as hard to like be as good as him or something. We've literally talked to someone who's like, this contest is gonna come down to me and Devon while I'm sitting there in full armor myself. Like right next to him, but because I'm a girl, he does not consider me competition.
As a male, not all men think that way.
As a female, I know not all men think that way. I was just telling a story.
Sometimes, and I don't agree with this either, but sometimes people are gonna be like, oh, well, she's probably gonna win because she's the sexiest. That falls really on the judges in the competition. If they're judging by, you've got 3, frat guys up there just, pounding back kegs going, she's sexy, she wins. Or you've got people that are going...
That are cosplayers?
Yeah, people that look at the crafts.
Another con has come and gone, and our cosplayers may have the post-con blues, but their hearts are swollen with anticipation for the next Virginia Comicon. And with a mind set and ready on all the new projects, they are inspired for the next big show.